Here we go. Yo, what it is, what it is. It's hopefully your favorite hip hop artist, your favorite human being on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Patreon. Um, First, we're going to talk about this. I got 88.9 in the background right now.
Where do you stand, man? Where do you stand?
I don't know, whatever. We're going to talk about Stranger Things, man. Like season 3. I really wasn't feeling season 3 too much, man. It wasn't. There was so many so much cheese going on in there. I felt like a Nacho Grande, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so much cheese going on in there, man. It was kind of annoying because I'm like, that's the best y'all could do. You know what I'm saying? That's the best y'all could do. The writing seemed like very cut and paste. Like, it was so like Hopper and what you call Will's mom, I forget her name, Winona Ryder character, I forget her name. Hopper and her was kind of whack. Because you just seen it coming. And then the whole little explosion with the Russian, with that speaks Russian, and the Russian, they talking about, oh, they haven't had sex yet. Like, it was so, I don't know, it was cheese ball. And somebody pointed out that it's Steven Spielberg, and now I'm kind of like, oh, all right, I don't know if I didn't know or if I just forgot, because I do remember it, but I don't know, whatever. In the moment, I wasn't thinking about Steven Spielberg and the cheese factor, because it felt like a teeny bopper movie where there weren't teens, where there weren't many teens. Like the only official teenagers was Billy, and the two ice cream people. You know what I'm saying? Those were the only three legit teenagers that had major roles in the movie. Everybody else legit was what, like 11, 12? I don't think they were 13. Maybe they were teenagers. I don't know. But for them to, it didn't make much sense that they kind of turned it into more of a teeny bopper feel. From what I can remember, I don't remember the first season and the second season feeling like that. I feel like the first and second seasons had way more. I think the character development and the growth was just better. Like this one, they went legit like. They were trying too hard to envelop this love thing. Like it was like, what movie was that? With a whole movie they was talking about, they was just trying to get them to say I love you. I don't know, it's a bunch of movies like that where they just legit go 110 on this love thing. Where I'm like, it's whack. It's that love aspect thing. It's not, love ain't whack. I'm not saying love is whack. But when the whole season is just, they're chasing this love thing. It's just like, like you couldn't write, and even if they did that, right, you couldn't write it any better. You feel me? It was legit copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. It was like there was no, I feel like they focused so much more on everything else. Like, why was there a whole scene, like a whole coming out scene, like, oh, I'm gay scene in this joint, when there legit is like a demigod god walking around trying to kill everybody, or when the Russian dudes was chasing the kids. Like, they're there, right? They chasing you. So y'all in the bathroom having this like coming to Jesus moment about her being gay or whatever, which is cool. If that shorty decides to come out of the closet. It was a whack setup though, because in the scenes prior, she's talking about how she likes him. Didn't she say she liked him? And shit like that? Like, so what? So why even have that scene? You know what I'm saying? Why even have the scene where you're talking about liking him? Then you have the scene where you come out as a lesbian. So you either lesbian or you bisexual. It's one of the two, because you legit said you liked him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was, I feel like it was whack. They could have did so much more. They could have did a lot more, just better writing, with better setups. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here predicting everything. Like, oh, me and my wife watching it. I'm just sitting here like, oh, this about to happen. Oh, that happened. Oh, this about to happen. Oh, that happened. Oh, this about. And it's kind of got boring real quick. You know what I'm saying? It definitely got boring towards the end. The last couple episodes were just kind of dragging. It's like, yo, y'all really trying to fill this space with anything. You could have filled it with better story. You could have filled it with more action scenes or more shown the demigod thing, whatever, the mind flayer, flaying more people or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They could have delved more into that aspect of it or something. I don't know. And then the whole scene where they set up at Hopper's house doesn't make any sense. Because why would you run back in and then barricade yourself in? What was the point of that? What was the point of barricading yourself inside this house? One, how'd you even have time to set up everything? How'd you have time to go get a gun? The mind flare was legit up the road. We're not even talking about miles. We're talking about feet. We're talking about a couple yards, maybe no more than 50 yards up the street. He saw you. You saw, and I don't remember if he stopped, but I know he was coming up the street. So they go in the house. They barricading walls. They barricade the doors, the windows. They locking up stuff. They got all that time to do that while he's walking down. What did he slow down for him and start Jason, like walking like Jason now? That he's seen him. Like, it didn't make any sense. And then so I knew when 11 got bit that one time that I'm like, all right, something in her. So he put something in her. So now that this thing like zap up powers, because now 11 is like Storm and she ain't got no more powers. I need to recharge. Like, what 11-year-old takes naps? You feel what I'm saying? Like, she's been her whole life, legit, her whole life, because they took her from her mom's. And when she was a baby, if I'm not mistaken, so her whole life, she been training with this mind power thing, and her nose never stops bleeding. So she's never gotten it. Damn, they call her shit. She's never adapted to her powers. What is that? That bitch hard as a bitch. She's been doing this. She's legit been doing this for like 12 years. And you know what I'm saying? In her time frame, in the Stranger Things time frame, she's been doing this for like 12 years, yo. And she still ain't got better at it. Like, her nose still bleeds. I mean, she really hasn't gotten better at it. I don't think she has. So for 12 years, she's been just keep bleeding out the nose. Now she need to recharge. I need to recharge. What does she need? Like a Coke? You know what I'm saying? A nap? I don't know what the fuck. It didn't make much sense because she was playing with it and doing whatever she wanted to do with it the whole time. Then in their desperate time of need, she can't do it, no more, which is blah. And what else was kind of whack? Was the Terminator Yo kind of whack? Terminator Yo was kind of iffy whack. Like, Hopper should have been down for more than a day. He wasn't even down for a day. You get beat up by a dude who legit had to have like metal parts in him. Legit metal parts in him. We already seen that Hopper couldn't beat this dude. We saw that. Like, so you get this cheesy ass fight where Hopper then fought this dude like 2-3 times square up and he beat him each time because he's just stronger than him and a much better fighter than him. There's no way. That's like me That's like me having a square up with John Bones Jones. I'm not winning that fight. I'm not winning that fight. There's no way I'm winning that fight against John Bones Jones unless I get uber lucky. You know what I'm saying? And I mean uber lucky. That's kind of what, maybe not John Bones Jones, because he's taller than me. Is he taller than me? I don't know. I know he's longer than me. I don't know. Let's say Luis Ortiz. That's like me going up and trying to fight Luis Ortiz. Like, he's going to beat me. Hopper is not beating this guy ever. Like, so they had, and I understand that Hopper was going to lose the fight. I understood that. Win the fight. I'm sorry. I knew Hopper was going to win the fight. Understandable. They could have made him win in a much better way. A much better way. Because the way that he won was just like, you couldn't beat me. No, nigga, you couldn't beat him. On your best day, you couldn't beat him. And they allowed you to beat him. After like a day ago or two ago, he beat the shit out you. Beat the shit out you. And you get up and start walking, man, you're not getting up the next day for that. Because Hopper, you're not even a fighter. You're not even in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hopper had like 2 outfits the whole time. Like, I don't know. It was kind of weak. I didn't like the it was so much lack of understanding of what was going on for people that have been involved. You dig what I'm saying? Like Hopper and I legit forget Winona Ryder's character name, but Hopper and Winona Ryder, they were arguing sometimes about what's going on. Like they haven't been inside the Upside Down. Like they haven't been there. Like they don't know. Like they just don't know what's going on. Will's brother and Shorty, I forget their names. They he acting like he don't know, like he ain't never been to the Upside Down, like he don't know what's going on. Like your brother ain't been to the Upside Down and wasn't over there for like a whole first season. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like obliviousness that was happening. I'm like, how are they acting like they haven't been there? Like they don't know what these moments are. Like they don't know what's popping. The mom and them acting like she cared about her kids, man. Bitch, you been gone. Winona Ryder was talking about, I don't care what I gotta do to get back to my kids. Look, yo, you been running away from your kids for like 8 episodes. Like 6 episodes, you was running away from your kids, not worried about them. They out here doing their thing, trying to survive or whatever. I didn't like that one moment where they was like, we have the most sophisticated system and da-da-da-da. And then some like 11-year-olds break through your shit. Like, I felt like that was cheeseball. I seen that coming a mile away. I'm like, oh, here we go. Now we about to cut to a scene with the kids. I wish that they made the little black girl, I forget her name. I forget a lot of their names. The little black girl, I wish they'd have made her less head naughty. You know what I'm saying? I wish why couldn't she just be sophisticated? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't she be a sophisticated black girl? Just a sophisticated little black girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I didn't like the head naughtiness, twitchy, all that. That was kind of like with me. I did like her character though. She brought something extra to the joint, but I do kind of wish that she wasn't like a typical young black girl character. I thought that was kind of whack. I feel like they made I forget the black boy name. Look, I forget all their names. Don't even worry about it. The black boy name. It's only 2 black main characters in this whole fucking joint, which is, I guess that's indicative of or indication of what the town Hawkins was like. Or, but like the town like Hawkins in 1984, like what that kind of town would be like. I guess that's indicative of that. I think it's the right word, indicative, whatever the fuck. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. I didn't like at the end, the last joint, when Hopper was talking during his little montage, whatever you want to call it. And he said something about black hole, like the darkest hole, and they put a close-up on the black kid. I thought that was whack, too. Like, it was terrible, man. And some of the stuff in there was just like, come on, dog, this is what we doing, yo. In season 3, I thought 3rd time was a charm, man. 3rd time was not charming, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, do I blame Steven Spielberg? I got to. He the director. He the one that did it. I didn't like a lot of the stuff that he did. I don't know. Steven Spielberg, and I'm jumping here, he did Ready Player One. Now, him doing Ready Player One, if he did Ready Player One off as a movie that he just came up with in his own mind and decided to come out with, cool. Then that movie is superb. It's a great movie. But he based that movie, he read the book. He said he loved the book so much that he wanted to do the movie. Now I know that there were going to be stipulations and issues and reasons why he couldn't do the book exactly to a T. But there were pieces that made the book, it was pieces in the book that you can do in movies. So back then I could understand when people were like, oh, well, you can't do the movie, but all right, but they did the Watchmen. They do the Watchmen piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? They do One Punch Man damn near piece by piece. They do a lot of stuff piece by piece, like section by section, right? Almost to a T. with Ready Player One, they legit could have had. It was a cookie cutter version of it. Of such a cookie cutter version because I don't think you get to like the characters like you should. They don't give you the liking of the character. They don't give you the growth of the character. You know what I'm saying? That's what I didn't like. With going back to Stranger Things, I don't like how they're growing these characters. Like I guess these kids are very emotional at this age. I'm assuming they are. They probably are at this age. They probably are very emotional. But we're also not talking about normal kids. You know what I'm saying? Every single kid is not like that. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about normal kids. We're talking about kids who have legit are living in horror movies. You know what I'm saying? Like they're living a horror movie. And they've been doing it for like 3 years right now. So they're not, actually probably more than 3. I don't know, because they've grown up a lot. But, so they're not typical kids. So you don't have to create them in a typical way. You know what I'm saying? They can be definitely atypical children. So, I don't know, man. I didn't like, it wasn't that great of a season. It really wasn't. I mean, still season 1 is probably the best season. I didn't like Will. This whole thing, I didn't like Will. What was Will's point? So I'm not expecting Will to have 11's powers. I'm not. Also, where are the other kids that have the powers like 11? Like, whatever, yo. Anyway, this would have been the perfect time for them to come out. This would have been the perfect time for them to come out. This time. They might come out next season. It should have been this one. You feel me? Because they had this big ass mind flare. Unless next season they're gonna have something even bigger. Like maybe nobody opens the hole. Maybe like the hole just gets forced open because of the mind flare or some shit. Whatever. But Will was whack the whole fucking season. The whole season Will was whack. Cause he's here. I feel him. He's here, guys. But like, he feel the nigga, but he don't say nothing. You feel him in the movie theater. You felt him early in the season. You feel him. You know it's him. You know it's him, but you don't say nothing. You quiet. Like legit. Really, he's gonna be quiet. Who's he hiding from? Everybody he hangs around has been involved in the shit. Most of the niggas, they went to the other side to go and get your dumb ass. Now you sitting there, then they in the hospital. This nigga don't realize they in the hospital. It was whack, man. So a lot of that stuff was whack, man. It was whack. I didn't like it. The writing of it was trash. The writing was trash. They spent too much money, too much of the budget on special effects, which they were cool. I'm not gonna lie, the special effects was cool. What the fuck is that? The special effects were cool. I'm trying to get my brakes done, but for the most part, excuse me. For the most part, the writing was trash. Writing was uber trash. And I said, I've been rocking for like 18 minutes. Holla at me, Ali Voso. You know what I'm saying? All my social media, all that jazz. Westside Love.